Good morning and welcome, everyone. We've got folks still rolling in, but it would appear that many of us got clocks changed. So that's good to see. So nice to see everybody. A lot of cameras coming on, folks rolling in. I think we're starting to settle in, so we'll go ahead and get rolling here. So welcome, I'm Nathan Mauck. I'll be leading today. I'm always excited to get together with this group and bring us all together here virtually. We got this town hall going during the pandemic, and I'm so happy to see this continue. It's such a nice space to have and share, and so nice to see so many familiar faces and new faces, and excited for this. I'll start off with maybe just a few thoughts on some things I've been noodling on, and then we'll do some practice and see if we want any Q&R at the end. So that's kind of the plan for the day. I'm sure many of you have probably either are having this experience or hearing this question a lot, but a question that I keep getting here lately is, how do you deal with the news? How do you deal with the reactions to the news or what's going on, to world events, that kind of thing? It certainly seems to be, whatever you're into or your thoughts are on things, there's no shortage of headlines that you might find frustrating and articles that you might be a bit less positive on. And I'll tell you my own thoughts on what I've been kind of seeing come up in my own experience, and hopefully some of it resonates with you, but maybe not. Someone sent me a passage from Mauck Norbu, and it was about criticism. And so it was about how oftentimes when we criticize others or critical of a situation, it's kind of a chance actually to hold up a mirror to our own experience. I thought that was really interesting as kind of a starting point as I was thinking about my own reaction to some of these news things. And just for instance, it's much easier for me to be like, I don't know why these idiots are doing what they're doing type of thing, and kind of project anger outwards, rather than I have many things I could certainly be working on that are much more within my own control, right? Like there's many things within my own experience, my own mess to clean up, right? So it can be kind of tempting to really fixate on external messes and other people's role in them rather than my own mess and my own role. And so I find it very much a reminder of, I try to come back over and over again to this idea of trying to be really clear about what is within my control and what's not within my control, and then doing my best to manage what it is that's within my control, and letting go of that which I can't control. But I'd also say, too, I'm sometimes tempted. I'm a bit of a news junkie, sometimes a bit tempted to just take a break, and that can be a good strategy, certainly, and not read as much. That's also kind of avoidance in general. Something I come back to a lot in my own practice because I'm very susceptible to it is, something you may have heard referred to something like spiritual bypass, right? So rather than deal with maybe the relative reality, you just want to kind of zoom up to this happy, blissful place. And I've loved my meditation practice, and it is nice to have that ability to find refuge and to have a retreat from more day-to-day types of activities, and that can be really helpful. But sometimes it can also be a way to avoid dealing with experiences that I don't want to deal with, right? Or things that I don't want to maybe give space to. So I think sometimes this, for me anyway, this kind of hyper-focus on the news or getting really into it is kind of a way of avoiding dealing with whatever it is, maybe kind of in my own experience. And it actually reminds me a little bit of parenting has been an interesting thing for me, in that I've seen a lot of things come up that make kind of a lot of sense on some level. But it's like if you see your kids in a situation you don't like, especially if the perception is it's caused by others, there tends to be kind of a natural, obvious reaction of maybe you feel badly for your kids, you're sad for them, scared for them, something like that. Maybe you're angry at people that you perceive as treating them unfairly or creating the situation that's difficult for them. And I think it's, pretty natural types of feelings. Oftentimes I don't feel real tempted to talk about just kind of, or to think about my own feelings about that situation, right? So I focus on what other people are doing, focus on the impact, which can be good. But it's also kind of a way of Mauck Norbu's passage. It kind of ended with, at some point you have to be alone with yourself, alone with your own experience, and really allow that time to experience exactly what it is that you have. And so one thing I really love about the Dzogchen meditation approach is it's very much not about avoiding any sort of anger or frustration, any sort of difficult experience, but more about seeing it very clearly, giving ourselves time and space to feel it fully, to experience it completely. Not even about transforming it. There's sort of a message that things will transform on their own. That suggests that we don't really need to work to transform, just allowing space, bringing awareness to things. That alone is enough. And so to kind of circle it back, I find the advice that kind of comes down is very general in terms of whatever arises, just be aware of that. But sometimes it helps, at least me, to think about some of these specific instances. I think of news or some of the things in the parenting kind of experience and some of these other more day-to-day types of things. Most of us not living a monastic type of life, so we very much living in this kind of relative regular day-to-day type of experience. And there's a wide range of things that arise. And come back to the general message is always experience what's there to be experienced fully and be aware, letting things come, letting things go, allowing things to be the way they are. These are all, messages that come through a lot of the meditation instruction. They apply outside of meditation. Sometimes I find it's helpful to reflect on specific instances. And like I was saying, I don't know what you all are running into, but how to deal with headlines, especially seems they come fast and furious, and in the social media age, things move very, very quickly. There's a lot to process. And I find I get very much unreasonably worked up about things going on and kind of get stuck on them. And there is a lot. But also note, the instructions aren't to do nothing about what we see either, right? Or to disengage, but more to just be really clear about what it is we kind of can control and what we can't. Take time to experience what we experience. And then I think also the meditation can give us that space to decide how we're going to react, or if we want to react at all. We may very well decide to do something to work to change things, to change ourselves, to change communities, whatever it is we're into. But taking this time, like what you do today and we're getting ready to do here, can maybe give us that space to be a little more intentional with how we move forward instead of just getting caught in some sort of reactive loop where we're just kind of constantly reacting to these various stimulus that get us going or get us thinking in a certain way. And so, again, even if I might use it that way, the meditation practice not meant in any way to avoid dealing with sort of relative experience or to kind of minimize that or mute that in some way, but really more about experiencing it fully. And also recognizing the relative side of things is oftentimes not quite exactly what it seems, and things that seem really fixed are really dynamic and interrelated. They're changing, evolving. And so the time and space to look back and reflect on that and see that, I often find is pretty useful. So the main punchline is we're getting ready to do more of a formal meditation here, but the instructions from natural meditation apply outside of meditation. There's really no space in which you can't do it, no amount of time that's needed in any moment. Anything that arises, it works. At least I would maybe say try it out and see if it works. It's worth a shot. So with that, let me ring a bell, say a prayer, we'll get rolling here. May all beings possess happiness and the inner causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the inner causes of suffering. May all beings remain undivided from the sacred joy which is free from suffering. May all beings come to rest in great peace and equanimity beyond attachment and aversion to friends, enemies, or strangers. With that, find a comfortable seat. Feel free to move around, stretch, grab a drink, Brace ourselves for doing nothing for a bit. And when we're ready, just settling in, arriving. No special way to sit or breathe or be, or eyes open or eyes closed. Just natural and at ease, comfortable. We don't need to hold still, move around, take breaks as needed, grab a drink. Just free and easy. Just taking some time to become very present, awake, aware. Recognizing whatever's going on in our experience right now. Maybe taking a second to scan the body. Just bringing awareness starting in our head. Just tuning into whatever sensations are there. And expanding that to neck and shoulders, chest and arms, abdomen. Into your seat, the tops of our legs, bottom of our legs, our feet. Noticing contact with whatever we're sitting on. Notice our contact with the ground. Just tuning into the sensations. We might want to bring attention to our breath, just noticing our breath coming in and going out. You don't need to breathe any special way, just natural breath. But also, if you want, sometimes a few deep breaths can really help us ground and settle. You might notice that the breathing process goes on automatically. We don't need to do anything, at least for this time during this practice. We don't need to do anything at all. Nothing to figure out, nothing to achieve, nothing to do or solve. Simply present to whatever arises. Natural, like our breath and like our body, at ease. In natural heart and mind, so whatever's going on in the realm of thoughts and feelings, just bringing awareness to that. We don't need to block out any thought or feeling. We don't need to hold on to any thought or feeling, just aware as these thoughts arise. Recognizing thoughts, not with the goal of analyzing or labeling or trying to figure things out or to judge them, just recognizing, noticing. Again, at least for now, just allowing things to be exactly the way they are, ourselves included. Can let go of any tendency to try to manipulate or control our experience. Can let go of any, maybe even sort of aim to fix anything or transform anything. At least for now, just simply being present with whatever arises. You might notice a certain calm or stillness or spaciousness, maybe physically around us, aware of the space. Kind of a spacious and open feeling. And we might also notice movement, activity, thoughts within the body. Our breath is coming and going. There's movement there. Might even be aware of our pulse, sounds around us, our senses taking in things that are changing. Thoughts coming and going, feelings coming and going. And also recognize that we can be aware of both the stillness and the activity simultaneously, the spaciousness and the movement. And we might notice that we can also be aware of awareness itself, that which is recognizing whatever we want to call it, this capacity to recognize both the stillness and spaciousness and the movement and activity, aware of both simultaneously and aware of this capacity to recognize this process, awareing a dynamic process, not a static experience. So just simply recognizing whatever arises. At least for now, we can let go of picking favorites between the more still and spacious experience and the more active movement, the thoughts. Just aware of whatever arises. It's at ease and effortless, relaxed, resting, allowing. And the only fine print is vividly aware, awake, present. Really experiencing what's here right now. Maybe even intensifying that presence. Really tuning into what's going on. Again, not an invitation to analyze or figure out, but just to recognize, just to see clearly, experience directly. Just take a break and just rest in this direct experience, rest in this recognition, at ease. And if at any point you find yourself distracted, just simply start fresh. Just recall your intentions for this time. Come back. Natural body, natural breath, natural heart and mind. Just sitting, just breathing, just being at ease, but awake and aware. Sometimes it helps to maybe chunk down a practice a little bit. So rather than thinking about, how long you can sustain something or keep it going, maybe just take a look many times. Doesn't have to be for long. Just really tune in to what's going on right in that moment. Start fresh over and over again. Just keeping it dynamic, not getting stuck. Just taking it a breath at a time, one moment at a time. And if you'd like, join me in a restart, stretch break, drink break. Now with a little additional caffeine in my system, I'm really ready to go. Ready to really do it. So when you're ready, start fresh. What's going on right now? Taking a break from our usual habits, our preoccupations, including the project of selfing, of creating this story of who we are and who we aren't. Just letting that be for a bit. Those sort of narratives come up, that's fine. Just bringing awareness to those. We don't need to indulge them or hang on to them. We don't need to block them out. The thoughts we like to pick at, just letting them be, leaving them alone, giving everything its space and time. You need to be very present, really noticing things as they arise. Maybe even seeing if we can't tune in to these moments of transition as maybe one thought dissolves or one sound dissolves, another arises. Maybe we can notice and be aware of space between one thought and the next. Where as a new thought or experience arises, an experience arises, we recognize it, we allow it to release in its own way, in its own time, aware of that whole process, the arising, the recognizing, the releasing. Again, we don't need to work to stir anything up, just letting things arise naturally. Recognizing, experiencing, and allowing, releasing. Right or wrong way to do this, no right experience to have or wrong experience to have or thought to have come up. Whatever arises, bringing awareness to that. You just rest in the recognition of whatever arises. Maintaining our awareness Continuing to recognize whatever arises. Letting things come, letting things go. Just adopting an approach of allowing things to be the way they are. Don't need to add anything to our experience. Don't need to block anything out. Don't need to muffle anything that comes up. Just letting it be. If you'd like, join me in another drink break, stretch break. Seeing some dogs and cats walking across the screen here. Maybe a good scratch break. Definitely view my cats as good role models. They don't seem to need any instruction on how to take it easy or to just be, to not try to be any special way. That seems to come pretty naturally to them. And when you're ready, restart. There are a lot of benefits to breaking a practice up. One that I find handy is it's a little easier to translate the practice off the cushion out of the formal meditation time. There's any time throughout the day is a good chance to start fresh, bring fresh perspective and attention to whatever's going on. We don't need to wait for a formal meditation time once a day or once a week or whatever we do. We can always just tune in, just like we are right now, to whatever's arising, seeing what's present in this moment. At least for now, letting go of any fear that things might go a certain way or even hope that things might go a certain way, and simply experiencing, just being, just recognizing, aware and awake of whatever arises. Again, at any point, if we feel like we're getting distracted, just starting fresh. Similarly, if you're feeling very present, awake, and accounted for, just simply maintaining that. Give some time just to be alone with our experience, but alone together, which is kind of a nice way to do it. Everybody here. Really tuning into what it is we're experiencing. And as we are starting to approach the end of our hour, sometimes it can be helpful to bring to mind what comes next after we leave this space. Recall that we always have the ability just to pause, just breathe and relax, just tune into what's going on. Take a moment to leave things as they are. Just bring awareness to whatever we're experiencing. Take a lot of little breaks from doing, from overdoing, thinking and overthinking as many times as you want. May all beings everywhere, with whom we are inseparably interconnected, and who want and need the same as we do, may they be awakened, liberated, healed, fulfilled, safe, and free. May there be peace and harmony in this world, and an end to war and violence, poverty and hunger, inequality and oppression, greed and cruelty, pandemics, famine, droughts, earthquakes, all kinds of natural disasters. May all be free from fear, harm, danger, anxiety, and insecurity. May we better prepare ourselves for the natural calamities that beset us all. And may we all together complete the spiritual journey, one beloved community, one circle, one family, all the way home. I bow to all of you. Thank you so much for being here. Feel free to pop any questions in the chat or raise a hand. Got a few minutes left here. So nice to see everyone. Thank you all. So chat. Debbie, also a good point with the thanks to the Dzogchen Center. Please check out if you're interested in donating, Dzogchen Foundation. Good spot to do that. All right. With that, I say we call it a Sunday. So great to see you all. See you same time, same place next week. Bye, everybody.